Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I've got a makeup tutorial for you, but with a little twist. It's a Halloween tutorial, so let's get on to it. So this is one tutorial where you don't need to start with a very clean face, because it's, well, it's not really going to be gore. It's going to be gore, but with glitter. And instead of guts, it's going to be very light. Yeah, well, you all seen the thumbnail by now probably, so that's what we're gonna do. Most of this tutorial is going to be in voiceover though, because first thing I'm going to do is cover my mouth with a tissue paper. And I won't be able to speak. So yeah, let's grab onto the latex. We're gonna start off using a very old and sort of stained tray, really stained tray, because we're gonna put liquid latex in it. Shake it first, pour it in. And then proceed to, don't do as I do, don't smell it. It smells terrible. So terrible, like, ugh. Anyway, then it's time for tissue paper. Just measure out how large you need it to be. Then, well, first I was like, I'm gonna cut this into shape. And then I figured, hey, let's use my brain and actually rip it into shape. Because the frayed edges are going to make it easier to blend on the skin rather than a straight edge. Also make sure to have a little gap for your nose, so you don't accidentally have to cover your nostrils with the tissue paper, because breathing is kind of nice to be able to do. Yeah, make sure you can still breathe when you glue this on. You can sort of breathe through the tissue paper, by the way, but like you don't want to cover your nose as well, is what I'm trying to say. Also, let's just kick in an open door here. Make sure beforehand that you're not allergic to latex. Some people are allergic to latex and it can actually be quite a dangerous allergy. So do make very, very, very sure that you're not allergic to latex before, smearing it all around your nose. Basically. If you are allergic to latex, you can actually get latex-free types of special effects makeup glue. They're a bit harder to find, I think. I'm not sure because I've never actually looked for them. But they exist. So yeah, if you're allergic to latex, find an alternative and use that. I'm just going to use my liquid latex because despite the scent, there's nothing else about it that bothers me. So yeah, I'm just slapping it on only around the edges of the tissue paper. And I'm using the tissue paper at the full thickness of the thing. I didn't pull the layers apart. I'm only doing that now to blend in the edges of the, fake mouth cover thing. And to make it a little bit thicker, because the whole point is that I only want the latex to be on my skin around the edges, because we're going to cut this open and we need it to look like a wound, and it's just easier if it's not actually adhere to your skin all over the place, because then you're going to have to pull it off and it hurts and it's sticky and it's annoying, and it's just easier if it's not glued on everywhere in the first place, trust me. Then once everything is on there, I'm also going to cover the entire thing with liquid latex, simply because I want to put makeup over top of it, and if you don't cover the entirety of the tissue paper with liquid latex, well, tissue paper absorbs. That's sort of rather the point of it. So yeah, you don't want it to absorb, so you want to put latex all over it and then wait approximately half a century for it to finally dry. But yeah, once it's finally dry, it will still be tacky, so it's best to powder it before actually attempting other makeup on top of it, because otherwise, trust me, the foundation isn't going to blend well. So yeah, once it feels completely smooth, wrinkly, but sort of smooth, it's time to apply foundation, just regular foundation. And because there will be latex all over the place and not absorbent tissue paper, you can just spread it out and it won't take really a lot of, it really just won't take a lot of product. Like, it's surprisingly easy to put foundation over top of this sort of prosthetic makeup. Do make sure to put your entire face under a layer of foundation though, so your entire face is the same shade as the prosthetic part, just so it blends nicely. Then I'm gonna powder it off. Not really necessary, but I'm oily, so I'm gonna do it anyways. And then it's time for the rainbow, because like I said, this is going to be a look that is not of blood and gore and bruises. It's going to be of rainbows and glitters, and very light. So I'm just using a NYX palette here. I don't want to use very expensive makeup for this, but I do want to use something that is very, very, pigmented, because it makes it a lot easier. And I'm just basically applying the entire rainbow onto the prosthetic. Just to make sure that it's just a nice sort of blended look. Like you won't be able to get it perfectly blended over top of wrinkly tissue paper and latex. But you know, this is basically just what I'm going for. Just the rainbow, but in a horror way, I guess. I don't know, it's strangely pretty, I suppose. Anyway, then it's time to put the Vaseline on. Yes, you could totally use glitter glue, but I realized my glitter glue is... Well, I'm pretty sure it's empty because I don't have it anymore. So it was probably empty, I probably tossed it and forgot that I needed to buy new stuff. So, Vaseline it is. It's also the reason why I didn't apply any concealer beneath my eyes, because we're going to put glitter there anyways. Another open door here. Please do use eye safe glitter, because if you use glitter that is made up of tiny glass shards, you're going to end up with a real horror look, and that's not ideal. So yeah, make sure that the glitter is safe to use around your eyes. I am using the classic orange and purple for Halloween. And then as a bit of an afterthought, I decided to also put it over top of the latex. And just stuff glitter on top of that as well. It didn't disrupt the eyeshadow, by the way, which I was both surprised and very pleased about. And then on top of my, well, basically very much the top of my face, like upper eyelids and above, we're going to put on a bit of a beauty look. So I just put some gel on my eyebrows. Now I'm putting on a heap of mascara. And then, well, fun story, I actually wanted a sloppy makeup look, but then I used these Alice Vase creamy eye pencils, creamy eyeshadows, duh. As you can tell, I just applied them sloppily on both eyes at the same time, assuming they would sort of dry out before I'd get a chance to blend them. And they blended out perfectly, and it actually is a decent beauty look. That is how good those eyeshadows are, like it's freaking amazing. Even if you're not trying to make it look good, they still look good somehow. Yeah, then highlighter to the nose, and yeah, then we have this result. Basically sort of a lazy glam beauty on top, and then glittery unicorn vibe horror on the bottom. And then it's time for the danger. We're gonna use scissors, so be very, very, very extremely careful, because we're gonna have to cut the latex open, and you don't want to stab yourself in the face. I'm assuming you don't want to do that. Don't do that. I also only recommend to do, well, actually, I'm not sure if I should recommend you using scissors on your face at all. But I definitely don't recommend doing this on someone else, because on yourself, I'm just keeping my mouth open really, really a lot at this point to make sure that I really have enough space to cut without actually hitting my skin, which would be impossible to do on another person. So I really don't recommend doing this on anyone else. And then just rip off some of the layers on the inside of the tissue paper, just to make sure the edges are thinner, because it looks a lot, well, nicer, I guess. Yeah, nice. Okay, and now that we're at this point, and I've also freed my bangs, incidentally, anyway. But we're gonna finish it up, and the first thing of that is going to be black gel liner. All in this hole. That sounded so weird. Okay, so the black gel liner has dried out apparently, so I'm going to use eyeshadow. So you can see that this just gives a lot more depth, and also, by the way, this brush was white when I started off. It's a very good eyeshadow. Anyway, so now it's time to actually put the lights in. So I bunched them up a little, so they'll fit in here nicely and just, you know, like, be distributed nicely. These are actually fairy lights that are meant to put in your hair, so they're safe to use near your body. They won't overheat, they won't electrocute you, they'll be fine. And also they work on batteries, which is rather nice if you still want to be able to walk around. And they're very lightweight, which is also important because, you know, the whole idea is to still be able to walk around with this, which would not work if, you know, they were very heavy. And here we have the final result. I gotta say, if you're actually going to talk, you might want to stuff your face back in place every now and then, because it will move a little. But anyways, I'm really happy with how this turned out, because, well, it actually turned out way better than I anticipated, and I can still talk, which is nice. So yeah, and it's something different from the usual creepy and or gory Halloween looks that I do. This is something else entirely. It is still going to hurt to take this off, by the way, with all the latex, but still. there will be actual horror. But anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you liked the look. If you did enjoy it, please click the like button. It would really help me out because it makes YouTube suggest my videos more often to new people. Why do I have glitter? Oh god, now I have glitter all over my throat. I'm just gonna ignore that. Anyway, yeah, and if you want to see more of my videos, you can also subscribe to my channel. Most of my videos are actually more wearable makeup than this. So yeah, but for now at any rate, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and I hope to see you next time. Bye!